Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long, your host, and I'm here with my co-host and co-explorer, Ain.
Hello.
We are coming to you from beautiful Las Vegas, Nevada. And of course, we're always in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios, and we have a really fun and interesting show for you. Hopefully, after you listen to the show, you'll be nice and hungry, because we're going to talk all about food. Specifically, some of the oldest restaurants in the entire world.
Right.
And we're taking a trip around the globe. And, when you and I were talking about this some time ago, I think we were in New York. Mm-hmm. And we were actually sitting inside, what was that place called? Francis's Lounge?
Oh, the tavern, St. Francis Tavern.
Francis Tavern.
Yeah.
And that's where George Washington sat and said goodbye to his generals. And it's a pretty old place. I think it's the oldest standing building in Manhattan.
Something like that. It's the oldest tavern in Manhattan.
And it goes back a couple of years.
A few, right?
In terms of the United States, and our history is very short compared to a lot of places around the world. So some of these other ones that we're going to talk about have been around since before the printing press, before the Magna Carta. If you know what that is, points to you, right? So they've been around for a really, really long time, and they've been in almost continuous operation. And that kind of gets a little murky in itself.
Right. And I was just about to say, another time I was in New York, I was touring restaurants for an event, and I went to one. I'm not going to say which one, but they claimed to be the first restaurant in the United States.
Right.
They are not on our list. They are not on any of the lists that you found. And I don't know if it's because maybe they were not open continuously, but I think oldest restaurant, as you said, gets murky depending on what parameters people are putting in place.
Yeah. And that's kind of the general one, is that most of these places have run uninterrupted for centuries. Now, there are others that have taken a very short, break. And that is usually because of war or some kind of act of God, a fire, something like that. Or some other places have taken renovations.
Okay.
And renovations do take time.
Yes.
So those do count as continuous because it's not like it. Usually we break it when, say, the restaurant becomes like a private residence, which has happened to a lot of old places over the time.
Or a totally different type of business.
Yeah, like one of the oldest in the United States goes back to pre-revolution times, but it had a number of years where it was a private residence. It shut down as a restaurant, and then it opened back up again like decades later. Well, the cycle was broken. So even though it's...
They lost their tenure. Huh?
Yeah. They lost it. So it's still listed, but it's not continuous.
Okay. So we're not talking age of the building. We're talking how long this business has served food.
Yeah. You've been serving food and drink to patrons. Okay. And no matter if you've built up stuff around it or not, people could always go there and get something to eat.
Got it.
So
I'm going to assume the oldest one in the world is not in the United States.
You're wrong. It's in Ohio. No. So, we have those parameters, same spot, pretty close, same purpose, feeding people, no major gaps, right? The first one is not in the United States. Actually, we're going to group these together. So we're going to start off in Europe because a lot of old things are in Europe. We love our friends in Europe and their oldness.
We say something's old if it's like 200 years, and they're like, 200 years, that's still brand new to us.
Yeah. We turn our attention first to Salzburg, Austria.
Okay.
We love Austria. It's so beautiful. A lot of history around that place, but it's one a lot of people know because it's still very, very popular. And this is the part where everyone gets to make fun of me again because I am going to try to pronounce some words here. Now it is locally known as St. Peter's or just Peter's because it literally sits at the base of the St. Peter Cathedral right there, St. Peter's Abbey, excuse me. But its actual name is Schiff's Culinarium. Is that close?
I have no idea, but it sounded good.
Schiff's Culinarium. Okay. but it's simply called Peter's or Pete's. They have a couple different names for it. It dates back to the year 803.
Wow. I can't wrap my mind around how old that is, but it sounds really, really old.
And it might go back even further. 803 is its first documented mention. That's when someone first wrote it down. And that goes back to when Charlemagne was still kicking at the Holy Roman Empire. You're right. And it's said, it's of legend that Charlemagne actually dined here. And that's one that they hold dear to them. Like Charlemagne and a number of other people. Mozart dined at this restaurant. That is documented. Christopher Columbus, dined at this place. So it's hosted notable figures, all the people from like today's time, but like giving some historical context. But
so this is probably one though where the building itself is much older than the restaurant, because you said it was an abbey, so it probably dates back even farther.
Well, there's St. Peter's Abbey, and this restaurant and the thing around it sits right beside it.
So it's not part of the abbey. I don't know. I don't quite understand.
It has a very unique relationship with the abbey. They're first cousins. I don't know. But yes, it's been renovated. So when if you go online and look at the pictures of it, the inside is beautiful. Over the years, they have added, I think, like a dining area or like a ball type area. And they do hold these really cool looking functions. They have something called a Mozart dinner concert, which is a 3-course candlelit meal served between like a full 18th century costume thing. They sing, they sip wine, they play music from Mozart. Everyone wins.
That would be a really cool experience. I would like to check that out. I'm curious about the food, though. How much has the food changed?
Oh, no, they still serve.
You think they're still serving the same thing they were serving
pheasant,
in 803?
Pheasant and gray gravy.
Oh.
No, okay. I don't know if that's a real thing.
Oh, no, here's the menu right here on their website. It doesn't look so bad. Beef fillets, asparagus, salmon. Rack of lamb. Oh, the only thing on here that sounds a little not yummy to me, glazed calf liver. I'm going to say no to that one.
Because you know what? And not to sound weird about this, but you're a sausage girl. Which is perfect.
Moving on.
For the Wurstkugel. The Wurstkugel. That's our next place. It's in Germany. Regensburg, Germany. I can't even pronounce it. The Wurstkugel was established in 1146 or somewhere around there. It has been continuously operated, but they are famous for their sausages. It's a historic sausage kitchen. You would love this place.
I probably would. I mean, when we just traveled around Europe last year, the best meal we had was in Germany, and it was sausage.
So, was I lying? I
you
don't
were
think
not.
so.
You were not.
It's situated right next to the iconic stone bridge that's by the Danube River, or goes over the Danube River. The building initially served as a construction office during the bridge's construction from 1135 to 1146. So upon the bridge's completion, the structure was repurposed into a cookshop known as whatever. I can't say this word, but it's basically the cookshop near the crane, and it's been open ever since.
Wow.
1146, they still in business and serving sausages. You know that's got to be good.
It's very small, though. It says they only have 12 seats inside. So this is kind of a pick up and take away restaurant.
Yeah, it's a good, like, old-fashioned fast food restaurant.
Interesting. You don't think about them having fast food way back when. But...
No. They didn't want you sitting around even back then. They do have another one in Poland. It's called the Piwnica Świdnicka. Man, I'm so sorry. I am so sorry. That was my attempt at Polish. Keep it right here. We're talking some of the oldest restaurants in the world. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-host, co-explorer Amy.
Hello.
We're in Sin City, Las Vegas in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. We're having fun looking at some of the oldest restaurants in the world that are still operating. So, you know, if you can make out what I'm saying and how to pronounce these names, you can put it on your list and, you know, try your hand. Let us know. But we've been to a few like older ones. And, you know, we mentioned our time in New York and everything, which those aren't that old comparatively. But we also went to one, where was that? In France? And
Yes. Outside of Paris, in that small town we went to.
Okay.
That one. Oh, and you're talking about when we were in Strasbourg.
Strasbourg.
Too. Yeah.
The lovely, whatever dish that was.
The Bake Off.
The Bake Off. That was something. So they've kicked us out of Europe because I can't speak Polish. So now we're going to turn our attention to Asia and upset some people there, right? So in Asia, the dining longevity isn't just about staying open. It's also about lineage, legacy, and some of these recipes that have been passed down from generation to generation are older and have outlasted empires and emperors and dynasties.
Okay.
Including this first one, which was established during the Jin dynasty. Okay. And this is where, again, it gets a little bit murky, right? Because we consider things held up if we like document them on paper. And they, you know, again, the restaurant that was opened in 803, it was documented then. But a lot of documentation with other cultures comes down from oral traditions, family members telling others about it. And maybe they didn't necessarily have, you know, brick and mortar restaurants like we know them today, but they were still places that people gathered and ate together continuously. So you'll see that in a lot of restaurants that we're going to talk about in different areas. But this one is called the Mayuqing's Bucket Chicken House.
Okay, so first question. Is that actually the official name or part of it's Chinese and part of it's English? Mayuqing Bucket Chicken House. Because that sounds like an American version of a Chinese food restaurant.
Yeah, I mean, you might be right. And you might be wondering, as I know Amy is here, what is a bucket chicken?
Yes, I am wondering. That was question number 2.
Okay.
Is it like beer can chicken?
Something.
Okay.
So an explanation of why it's called bucket chicken, right? It's made using female chickens. Unlike usual preparation methods of the time, the chicken's breast and belly are not split, and the wings are bent so it resembles a bucket. It's bent backwards.
Oh.
Resembles a bucket made of chicken meat and bones, obviously, right? So it said some small incisions are made in the chicken to remove internal organs before boiling the chicken whole in a special sauce.
They boil the chicken whole, and then they serve it like that?
Yeah. I'm sure they serve it with condiments. Maybe some croutons.
I mean,
crackers.
We eat a lot of chicken. We do.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have words.
It was founded, again, during the Jin Dynasty. Legendary Chicken House claims a legacy of over 850 years. It's kept alive, again, through family recipes and traditional cooking. And still, even now, the current place is very humble. It's in a bustling little area that's in Kafing, China. Okay. Very proud of its roots, obviously.
So is this like the first takeout chicken?
Kind of. Like people would go and kind of get orders together, and like you would come by there, and after they boiled, kind of like Bake Off.
Okay.
In France, you know, you would, at the beginning of the day, you would come place your order because it would take time to do all of this stuff. And at the end of the day, you come pick up your family's.
I mean, I guess now that I'm thinking about it, it's not as weird as it seems because we fry chickens, things like that here in the U.S. Boiled chicken. I don't generally boil chicken. That still has a lot of bones in it. Personal preference.
You don't like bony chicken?
I'm not going to eat it, but I mean, some people do buy whole chickens and cook the whole thing. So I guess this is that. I think it's just the trying to understand when it making the chicken look like a bucket. I don't quite get that part. But okay.
It's just like when you butterfly something or something. It's just a way to I would imagine it's done for a reason. Like you put, sauces or I don't know, some rice or something in there. I mean, it's like a little bucket. You carry it with you.
Okay, and you just carry your chicken out by the legs.
I
Okay, got it.
I don't know. That's why you need to go there.
Let's go.
Let's try it out.
Let's go to China and try the bucket chicken.
Another place is in Kyoto, Japan. This might be more your speed. It's called Honki Owerye.
Okay.
Honki Owerye.
I'm not laughing at the name. I'm laughing at the way you say it.
Yeah. And yes, even though it does sound like it's a part of Honky Awareness Week, it is not, in fact, that. It is a Honky Owerye. Yeah, I shouldn't be naming these. But originally, it's a confectionery shop. The family runs, it's a soba noodle house.
Oh, okay.
It's been serving Kyoto's people going back over 550 years now, including the imperial family for
wow.
so many centuries now. And now everyone's invited. It used to be for just special people, but now anyone can just go by there.
I'm trying to remember if we had soba when we were in Japan. I know we ate at a ramen place, and outside of Kyoto, when we went to the Monkey Mountain place, we ate udon noodles.
Yeah.
But I don't remember if we had soba when we were there.
I
don't know the difference, to be honest, between the different types of noodles.
You were just judging bucket chicken, so no, I don't think you would know. But look, the restaurant was once on retainer to the imperial household, excuse me.
Oh.
And monks from Kyoto's temple still dine here regularly in full robes and all of that. So going and experiencing Soba Noodle House there can be quite the experience.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now I'm not dissing it. I mean, I will totally try it. I think soba noodles, though, aren't they? They're not served hot. They're served warm, or they're served chilled, aren't they? I think.
Okay.
Sure.
Sure. That sounds good to me. They do have some recommendations, though. The must-try dish, the zaru soba. It's chilled soba noodles. So there you go.
Okay.
Served with savory dipping sauces. Simple, meditative. It keeps everything in line and hopefully get you coming back, right?
Interesting. Okay. Well, I would try it. I mean, it's noodles. How bad could it be, right?
Well, see, I mean, that's almost a positive, negative way to look at things.
No, it has to be good. I mean, if they were on retainer to the emperor or whoever, then they had to be like the best place to eat, right?
You can also order the harai soba, which is a multi-tiered stack of soba bowls served with assorted toppings. So kind of like a bento tower. And just have all your soba dreams come true.
Okay, let's go. Let's go back to Japan and try it.
Go right now. Let's start booking it. We're going to take a break and book some tickets. You stay right where you are. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy, here with my co-eater in crime, Amy.
Hello.
Check us out online, unscaledtravelshow.com. Check out our YouTube channel, man. It's growing. It's a little bit different. The Unscaled Travel Show YouTube channel is a little bit different than the nice bubbly show where I say wonderful all the time. And my Polish is horrible. And my Chinese is even worse. The YouTube channel, actually, we travel to different places and we find small historical footnotes, people that maybe deserve a little attention, and we kind of deep dive into them and put some emotional elements into some of these people's story and stories about how things have happened. So hopefully you'll join us over there on YouTube. We are switching our focus to Africa and some of the oldest restaurants that we can find over there. And some of these people, I mean, obviously they've been in continuous operation for years. And the thing about it is, like, to be in operation for hundreds of years, and in the case of the one that was opened in 803, I mean, 1,200 years.
Yeah.
Something has to be good there.
Yeah.
You know, it's not because it's like, oh, let's go to the Wendy's down the street just because it's convenient. No, like, you got to go there for a reason. You like the tea, you like the something, you know, you like the bucket chicken.
I know. I was kind of making fun of some of the food, but for these restaurants, and several of them they're still in the same family. It's 15, 17 generations of the same family have been running these restaurants. Like, this is a legacy for them, but you're right. The food has to be good or they wouldn't have lasted this long.
Yeah, exactly. So you need to take back all that hate
I wasn't
on the
hating.
bucket chicken, and you need to just
I wasn't
you
hating.
need to get with the times. The El Imrabet Cafe in Tunisia,
Okay.
established around 1630. And it has been in the same family doing the thing in Tunisia since what? Since, I don't know.
You said 1630.
Well, I was trying to think of something that happened in 1630, but my mind.
I don't know. I'm not the history buff here. You.
So anyway, situated in the heart of Tunisia's Medina, the cafe offers just kind of a nice little escape from the area around it can be quite busy. So people often stop in and, you know, have a moment to just enjoy the evening. They have live music performances and just kind of a beautiful, enchanting, like, ambiance.
Yeah, looking at the pictures and their lineup of entertainers, they have what we used to call, and what's kind of coming back in popularity in the U.S., but supper clubs, where it's dinner and a show. Every night's a different act. You sit there, like, all the tables kind of face a main stage, and they put on concerts and shows and things while you have dinner. I mean, what a great way to have dinner, especially when you're traveling. You get a little more than just, you know, food. You move on. You actually get entertained.
And they actually, on their website, they have what they call Ramadan evenings. Didn't you read up on that?
No.
Okay. Well, the Ramadan evenings feature live performances from various groups, from singers and music and dancing and all of that, just to have, kind of ingest a big dose of culture with the evening of, you know, food and drink and everything else. So those are, like, extremely popular, these Ramadan evenings here at the cafe.
I could totally see that, though. Like, if you're really wanting to immerse yourself in the culture of Tunisia, it seems like this would be the place to do it. Yeah,
it's kind of like the next place in Cairo, the El Fishaway Cafe. It was established around 1773, and it's kind of that same thing. It's more of a traditional, like, tea and coffees, and you go and sit and just, you know, maybe like Starbucks before Starbucks was
okay,
like the old Starbucks, not even what Starbucks is now.
Like, where people would just go and sit and have a coffee and write.
And,
you know, artist would be there.
Yeah, the El Fishaway Cafe opened, like I said, and it's been in the same successive family, like in the same generational family, for at least 7 generations. In more the 20th century, so the 1900s or so, writers, intellectuals, people like that would frequent this place because it is one of those kind of, that gives it that air about it, this, you know, feel where you go in there and you kind of, like, pontificate. Why? You ask why a lot, you know.
Like, I don't enjoy writing in public places, but a lot of people do. And just looking at pictures of this place, it does have a really interesting vibe and aesthetic to it. So I could see going there and being inspired.
Yeah. Kind of, you know, it was established around the time, like, Napoleon and people like that were, like, invading Cairo. So you can imagine the counterculture, the counter movement of those days, sitting and sipping tea and talking about the, you know, everything going on around it. I mean, it's beautiful and almost kind of haunting in the same kind of atmosphere.
It looks really neat, and it's in the middle of a market. So, like, if I always like to go to marketplaces when we travel because I feel like you get to see a whole lot of the culture when you're in a big shopping type of area, not a westernized mall, but more of like actual street vendors selling their wares. You get a better feel for the location.
Yeah, absolutely. And you just you get an opportunity to just sit and maybe people watch a little bit and really just kind of relax throughout the day. And then there's one more in Perseverance. In Cape Town called the Perseverance Tavern. And it opened in 1808 and kind of stayed open. I mean, it has been around.
It did say that they did close temporarily during COVID, but I think we're giving people a pass for that since, most stuff did close during COVID.
Yeah, you kind of have to, I guess, give people a pass on all that stuff.
But it's South Africa's oldest pub.
Yeah.
So
put it on the map. So next time you're out there traveling, rich history, classic charm, that kind of stuff around Africa. And I'm sure there's so many that we don't have on our list, but hey, man, we'll keep trying, right? Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
hello.
Check us out online, unscaledtravelshow.com, YouTube. And yes, we are now an award-winning travel show. Just want to work that in there. Be jealous. We know you are. We're talking about some of the oldest restaurants in the world and, why you should go there. You should go to all of them. I love all restaurants almost equally.
No, not equally.
I said almost.
I think you have some favorites, but as we were saying before, these places have been around for a long time for a reason, and that reason has to be that the food is good.
Yeah.
So if you are in any of these locations, look up one of these restaurants that's near you and check it out and let us know. Let us know if you ate there and was it really as good as you would expect a 300-year-old restaurant to be.
Exactly. In places like South America, probably have, just thousands upon thousands of stops where just traditional foods, nothing fancy, no frills. At 9:00, it doesn't turn into a nightclub like everything in Las Vegas does. But it's just like simple traditional meals done right.
Like going to your grandma's kitchen and getting food. Like you just know it's going to be good.
Yeah, absolutely. Unless your grandma couldn't cook. And then
grandma's could, so.
And then you knew it was going to be terrible. So this next one I think you'll like because you love tamales.
I love tamales.
And I love tamales. And who doesn't? I don't want to be friends with people who don't like tamales, quite honestly. And you can find one of the better ones and one of the older ones in Bogota, Colombia. Established in 1816, La Puerta Falsa has been serving everyone from the working class to the politician and scientists and great thinkers for more than 200 years in La Puerta Falsa, excuse me, not salsa. Now I'm thinking tamales and salsa. But La Puerta Falsa is Spanish for the false door.
Which I was reading originally when this place first started serving food, they didn't even have a name.
Yeah,
People
it was just a place.
Called it the false door because that's what was there.
Yeah, it was actually, I think people called it like the place near the false door because there's actually a false door that was meant to, ward off people and, people taking wrong turns during wartime and stuff like that. And it's got a whole interesting history, but now it's just a place. By all indications, it barely sits 20 people. There's a bar in there, room enough for 10. So it is definitely, they have 2 or 3 tables. If you get there and you luck out on getting a table, awesome. Chances are, though, you're going to order your tamales and you're going to get the heck out of Dodge, right?
This sounds like when people say, I found this great little hole in the wall. This is what they're talking about.
This is the exact place that they're talking about when they say hole in the wall.
And the thing, I guess I've never really thought about Colombian chocolate, but that's another thing that this place is famous for.
Yeah.
It didn't even occur to me, and now I feel like I'm missing out and I need to go try it.
Yeah. And it is one of the things. So you have tamales and you have chocolate. That is just like, that's the best day ever, right?
Right.
So every day can be the best day ever for you. They do have a dish, or at least sometimes it is a kind of a rotating small menu, but it is called the tamale con chocolate. And it sounds just like it is, right? A plantain wrapped tamal paired with a mug of thick, frothy hot chocolate, served with a slice of cheese to dunk. Cheese
to dunk in your hot chocolate.
Yes.
I am intrigued.
I knew you would be.
I mean, I can't even.
I don't think there's a word in that sentence you wouldn't like.
But I don't usually put all those words together. So yes, I'm intrigued. I'm not sure how my taste buds would feel about it, but I would try it. The
one place calls it or says of it, it's like being handed a plate by your abuela in a building that helped start a revolution.
Oh, okay.
So,
well, that's cool.
If you're in Bogota, it's a wonderful place. I mean, that just sounds awesome.
I mean, for history lovers like you and food lovers like me, it's the perfect place to go on vacation.
Another perfect place would be in Cafayete, Argentina.
Okay.
Which is, it's a bodega. It's called El Esteco. El Esteco. The winery on it, which I think it's like 5,500 feet above sea level, or about what is that, 1,700 meters or so. And so it's way up kind of in the, not at the top of the Andes, obviously, but they have a winery that was founded in the 1700s. Now, the restaurant wasn't established till 1892. Now, here comes that murkiness, like, oldest continuous, restaurant, things like that. But if you've been to wineries, they had some bread and stuff like that for people.
They got some snacks
So
there.
I'm going to say it's been around since the 1700s.
This place looks gorgeous.
It looks gorgeous.
I would just want to go walk around this property. It is beautiful. And of course, let's try some wine. If they're going to have food too, even better. But it is probably one of the most beautiful places I've seen in a while, I would say. So yes, when we go to Argentina, I want to check this place out for sure.
Yeah. So you got the high altitude, which if you know anything, for all of our wine drinkers out there, if you know anything about wines, like the altitudes and the different saltiness or whatever of the earth can drastically change the taste in your wine. So this is something I would really love to try. But it is, the winery has turned kind of into this fine dining experience, which blends a little bit of that old world architecture you were just talking about, that has that old school flavor of like gauchos and that old look of Argentina.
Yeah.
With like, they actually serve you like a nice dining experience.
I imagine they do like
say.
a tasting menu where they find foods that complement their wine. So you're getting that full experience of the wine and the food, which is just great. I would love this.
Which they do. I mean, they have some must-try dishes like their empanadas, their take on empanadas, which are crispy. I
love empanadas too.
Got to move back from the microphone. There you go. Which are just like crispy edge spice beef pockets, right? That are kind of fried. But they pair them up with their regional wines that are literally outside the window. You could go pick up whatever you need and make some wine right there. But some empanadas, some tamales and chocolate. I mean,
now
South
you're talking
America.
my language.
Ooh, boy, I'm drooling on the microphone over here. Keep it right here on Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. I'm Jeremy Long here with my travel partner, Ian.
Hi.
We're in beautiful Las Vegas, and we're in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios. You know, we've talked about Las Vegas often, and we have some restaurants here that, for Las Vegas, they're pretty old. I mean, we have some restaurants that go back to the 1950s, but that's about it.
Right.
I think like Bob Taylor's Ranch House and the Golden Steer each go back to the 50s. And that's like nothing to these restaurants.
Yeah.
It's like nothing. It's like a blip. It's like teenage years right there. So it makes talking about these restaurants pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, these buildings themselves, the families that own these restaurants, the recipes, they have so much history in just themselves that it's more than just eating. It's an experience going there.
Yeah. I agree. Now, you know, we have talked about South America and parts of Asia and Europe.
And Africa.
And Africa. And so Australia and the like South Pacific area comes to mind. And again, you know, we're talking about for major publications, it's this continuous operation as it's how they judge how old the oldest buildings and restaurants and everything else. But you started getting into cultures where they didn't have traditional restaurants and different experiences and things like that, where it gets a little bit, you know, a little bit harder to like, you know, who decides what goes where and history and all this other place. So there are a couple that are more in the colonization part histories of like Australia and New Zealand, like the Bush Inn in Tasmania.
Okay.
So the Bush Inn was established in 1815, pretty old. And it is a nice pub where you're going to have, you know, traditional pub foods and all of that. And it does have this longer history where you can, you know, kind of get in there and have your like good times. It is a rowdy bar. It is. Well,
okay. No, I mean, a rowdy bar. Yeah. No, I get what you're saying. Like, especially if we're looking at it being documented, kind of when we were talking about the Chinese restaurant earlier, I think we were reading that they don't really know when the family started serving food to the public, but they officially like became a restaurant as the date that we noted at that time. So it could have been even older than that. And I have a feeling some of the ones in this area of the world maybe go back farther.
Yeah.
But we're talking specifically now, Bush Inn, as it currently exists, goes back to 1815.
Yeah. And a lot of these, you know, kind of what you're alluding to going down that path, were probably like these places that were just kind of set up for local workers, almost like the one at the bridge in Germany. Like this is where workers just kind of sat and had lunch and people just started serving them meals. And this is it feels like a lot of these areas in Australia. And I know we have a great affiliate there in Australia, 2Hey FM, and they would probably know way better than we do.
We should have consulted with them before this show.
Maybe so. They probably have all kinds of history, but it is something where you have these cultures, you have the colonization efforts, and then you have the bush people that were there and the you know, the Aboriginal and Native tribes and things like that. So it's probably all kind of tangled up in these collective stories, like, you know, these cultures and recipes that kind of blend together over the years. Right. So you don't have one true, like, this was here and this was here. I mean, we can document when this building went up and when this started, but the actual recipes and the actual lineage probably goes back way further.
Right. But I think if we're talking the age of the restaurant itself, this one goes back to the early 1800s. I do like that this one comes with a ghost story, though, because you would think any building this
has a ghost story
comes with a ghost story, but apparently multiple owners, because the restaurant's changed hands several times, multiple owners have claimed to have seen a woman ghost, a female ghost in a dress walking through the pub. And it says she always turns towards the kitchen and disappears. So, you know,
Nope.
if you enjoy your ghost with your beer and your sandwich, maybe check it out.
You know, I've been to Australia and I've had some drinks with some of these blokes. And enough of those really strong beers, and you'll be seeing women in white everywhere, walking through walls. You're trying to walk through walls. It's a whole hoot in itself. Like this next one, the Hero of Waterloo Hotel and Restaurant. It was established in 1843. By our standards, probably not the oldest restaurant in the world, but it does have this continuous operation thing, and there's a lot of history behind it. And who was the hero of Waterloo? Duke of Wellington, right? He defeated Napoleon at Waterloo. Everyone knows that, right?
Sure.
So he's got a...
Thank you for the history lesson.
It's not. It's just, it's like bucket chicken. Everyone knows what bucket chicken is. Don't you know? And
I do now.
Your grandmama didn't teach you about bucket chicken?
No, she did not.
While she was telling you about the hero of Waterloo? Okay. They do have a smuggler's tunnel.
Oh, fun.
A narrow stone corridor, allegedly used to kidnap drunken patrons straight to the docks. You know what they used to call Shanghai.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting.
You get kidnapped and all of a sudden you're a sailor.
Well, I mean, that's scary. Now we call that human trafficking, but
This is a different episode.
hopefully they're not doing that at this restaurant anymore.
At the Hero of Waterloo? No, they don't do that. Not anymore. They stopped doing that. Like, well, on the weekends, maybe, but they don't do that anymore. That also brings up like a good point with the Maori. The Maori people who, you know, been in New Zealand, and their cultures go back, and they have all of these, not only cultural experiences, but the cuisines and the recipes where they didn't have traditional restaurants, but they would sit around different spots with the fire going, sharing stories, talking about their culture. Like even with strangers and new people coming in, they would sit around and they still hold these feasts in these spots. And they're like, you know, it's not like, oh, you go pick up some chicken, you pick up some bucket chicken and walk off. No, like you sit there and it's like a 3 or 4 hours long, and they'll tell you the history of their people and some of the culture and what they believe and some of the things about them that makes them unique, while also feeding you some incredible food, you know. But it's not like this restaurant that opened and now we're going to tell you some things and everyone dresses up in costume.
It's not a physical restaurant. It's an experience.
Exactly.
Like a very immersive cultural experience. That sounds really neat. I would love to do something like that.
Yeah.
And I imagine other places, kind of going back to Africa, they probably have similar experiences too, because there may not have been a lot of formal restaurants, but a lot of teaching people how they did things traditionally.
I would think even of our brothers and sisters in like Hawaii, you know, and you have the luau's and you have these things that have been over the years kind of dumbed down to tourist, commercialized to touristy things. But this is like part of, you know, their actual gatherings as a people,
right?
To come together and share their collective histories and knowledge and cultures and food and things like that at these traditional, like more gathering spots.
Right.
Compared to like a restaurant.
I mean, you know? I think most cultures feel the same way about food that we do, that everything we do is kind of centered around food. You know, family, celebration, even death. Food is a big central part of everything that we do.
It's the universal connector. Keep it right here, Unscaled Travel Show. We'll be right back.
Unscaled Travel Show is brought to you by Diamondback Land Surveying. For all your land surveying needs, contact Diamondback Land Surveying at 702-823-DBLS.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Unscaled Travel Show. Jeremy Long here with my co-explorer, Amy.
Hello.
We're in the Diamondback Land Surveying Studios in beautiful Las Vegas. We've been chatting about restaurants around the world, some of the oldest continuous restaurants. There you go. In the world. Hopefully you can go and check some of these out. And if you have, how was it? Hit us up, Facebook or Instagram or the YouTubes, as the kids call it. Let us know, man, how these restaurants are. We've been to some pretty old places, but I don't think any that compare to a lot of these until we talk about our last stop on our history road, our worldwide road. There you go.
Around the world.
There you go. Even better. I like it. In the United States. We don't have the long history of a lot of these other places. In fact, our oldest, the oldest one that we say is our oldest ain't that old.
It's like 400 years?
400 years.
I don't know. Which one are we talking about?
It's coming. It's coming up on 200.
300 years?
200 years.
200 years?
There you go. Stop guessing. Stop guessing. Jeez. Okay. I don't know what the lead-in was for that was going to be. But we're talking about the Union Oyster House in Boston. It was established in 1826. And it's been... so the thing, you have to remember through all of it, right? It's the continuous operation part of it. They have way older buildings. And in fact, one of them on here, the White Horse Tavern in Rhode Island, was originally a restaurant when it opened in 1673.
Okay, that's the...
And the building and the tavern still stands, but it was interrupted by decades as a private residence and had different periods of closure. Okay. So it wasn't serving food or anything, but the building is still standing and it was originally a restaurant. So if you look up just oldest restaurants in the United States, you'll see so many that were built before it, but most of them were closed down or repurposed or something else.
Okay. But in my defense, that's what, 300 years?
Are you guessing again? Stop guessing. This is why we're travel show hosts and not math teachers. It's still just 200 years old. In fact, next year it'll be 200.
1600.
Oh, I was still talking about the Union Oyster House. It's 200 years.
We're not very good communicators.
It's 199 years old now.
Okay.
It's nice, right? In fact, we actually passed by the Union.
Did we?
Yeah, it's near the Boston Commons area.
Oh.
We passed by. We were on one of the buses, and they pointed it out to us. And it is extremely popular to this day. And it was the place, for all 2 centuries that it's been open, it is the place that, guys weird detail, right? Daniel Webster, Webster's dictionaries.
Oh, am I supposed to know who Daniel Webster is?
He was a regular patron. And of course, all the, founding fathers and dignitaries, and even a future king of, I believe, France. Which one? Louis Philippe. He would later become king of France. He lived on the second floor of this building in 1796 and taught French to young women. Yeah, he did.
Sure.
Yeah, he did. You dog. But yeah, it's been the building itself has been around for way longer than it's been a restaurant. But it does have that history.
Really? That's interesting. I do really enjoy the history of buildings. I like architecture, things like that. Obviously, I'm not great at math, so I did not go into a STEM field. But I do like learning about these buildings. And now that you said this, I remember us being on that bus tour and them pointing this out. Because I believe it's close. It's on the Freedom Trail or right there next to it. Okay. Mm-hmm. So we did go by there.
Yeah. So when you get there, you got to try the clam chowder. Of course, you have to. And if you want the whole experience, right, you sit at the original oyster bar, which was put in there. And like I said, dignitaries and politicians and people from history have all sat right there at the original oyster bar and shucked oysters and talked about the issues of the day and probably dreamt up some policy that has now shaped the United States right there all smelling of oystery goodness.
Yeah, I'm not an oyster fan.
Oh, you're not a bucket chicken fan. You're not an oyster fan.
I would try the bucket chicken.
One you might like, the next oldest one, and this is weird because it jumps. There's a pretty significant jump, right? From 1826 to 1840 with Antoine's restaurant in New Orleans.
Yes.
Now, New Orleans, this is closer to where we grew up. This is the Cajun flavors. This is the blends of French and Creole cuisine, which
Love
is,
it.
in my opinion, which is the only opinion that matters on this particular show. Well, yours matters about 20%. But the French Creole cuisine, or what we call Cajun cuisine, is the best.
I love it.
It is the best. It absolutely is. But here at Antoine's, that's where you're going to find, like, it's all adorned with Mardi Gras memorabilia. And if you've never been to Mardi Gras, you're missing out. You need to, it's just bring your passport. It's like going to a different country. And I say that in a good way.
Yeah. I've tried to explain, Cajun food, the spices to people who are not from this part of the world. And it's kind of hard to do because people think in America we don't use spices, that everything's just very bland, like salt and pepper, and that's it. You have not been to this region of America if you think that. I feel like in the Cajun cuisine, they're like, just give us every spice you have, we'll dump it all in.
Yeah. We'll figure it out, right?
Yeah.
It's kind of that, because of all of the, I mean, if you look at the history of like New Orleans itself, all the different peoples, from the native peoples to enslaved and later freed peoples, and then I think the Spanish, the French, everyone owned it at some point, or at least occupied it in some kind of way. So you did have this worldwide kind of melting pot of flavors that all went up through this major shipping port right there at the mouth of the Mississippi. And everything with New Orleans. So, I mean, it was a major fort and then Civil War. All of that stuff kind of made this perfect blend of not only food and cuisine, but the people.
Right.
Is so diverse in New Orleans and around that area that it just makes it, to me, the best.
Yeah. I mean, we've been to New Orleans twice, and I don't remember seeing Antoine's, but I've heard about it. I've heard people mention it. I mean, because it is kind of famous, not just in the New Orleans area, but just amongst travelers. And I feel like it's a place we need to go. You can find a lot of photos of it from like the 1950s when it was sort of at its heyday. But like you said, it's been in existence since 1840, although I think it's not in the original location. I was reading that they actually outgrew their existing building and they had to move like a block down the street. So we're still going to count it because they're close.
That's one of the rules.
Business was so good that they needed more space.
If it's not in the original spot, it's near the original spot. That is one of the major publication rules. And I will note that Antoine's is the oldest family-run restaurant in the United States, too. So it's been in the same family. Family's running it, and family matters, right?
Family does matter.
I mentioned the White Horse Tavern, so I got to go back to it, right? Our friends in Rhode Island, gosh, you don't have much. So I got to give you the White Horse Tavern. If not for that, I think the White Horse in Rhode Island and the Millridge Inn, in Jericho, New York, each make a claim to the oldest restaurant in America. One was established in 1672. The other one says around that. It depends on who you believe and what story you go with. So, for this particular show, I'm going to talk about the White Horse Tavern.
Okay.
But it did have those periods of being interrupted by, being a private residence. And then it did have parts when it was closed down. So, it's not the oldest continuously operated restaurant, but it is the oldest restaurant building in America, built in 1673, used as a tavern, then a home, then restored in the 20th century. It's kind of a creaky colonial marvel that just pours you a pint, gives you a ghost story, and that ghost will tell you some perspective, give you some perspective on the U.S., why we are the way we are.
Right.
So clam chowder and all that.
I feel like, the northeast of the U.S., obviously, they just have they were established before the west side of the country was. So they're
West
just
side.
going to have older buildings. But if you're looking for something maybe like 100 years old,
We got you covered.
on the west side.
Thanks for joining us. It's Unscaled Travel Show. We will see you guys next time.